Hi, my name is Mani, and I'm going to today tell a story. 12 Windows and a fairy tale collected by Grimm brothers in early 800s in Germany. Once there was a princess who lived in a castle. The castle had a high tower with 12 windows. The windows were spaced out in all directions. Each window has been designed for a specific purpose. When she looked out of the windows, her sight was more clear than anybody who's watching it. In the first window, when she looked out, she could see better than any other human being. And the second window, she could still see better. And the third window, it can be distinctly still. And this window, like the sight goes on or improving each and every window, but until 12th window, she can see under and beneath, above and beneath the earth, so that if anyone hides any part of the earth, she could find out. So the princess, one day she decided to get married, and she proclaimed that a person or a man could hide himself from her can marry her. So any man who tried this and was discovered by her by through these windows, and the man who were defeated, they had to surrender their wealth to the kingdom, and they are put in dungeon. So this goes on. And one day, the three brothers appeared before the princess, and they told her they wanted to try their luck. The princess said, okay. The elder brother came, and he thought that you'd better hide under the earth, hide under the earth. So he dig a hole and deep hole, and he climbed down and he covered himself in by the dust. And the princess saw him through the first window, and he was brought and he was asked to surrender his wealth, and he was put in the dungeon. The second brother, who thought, so he thought he will walk, and he climbed up the tallest mountain nearby, and he could hide himself in a cave in that mountain. But his efforts also got wasted. The princess could find him, and he was also brought back to the court, and he was told the same thing, to surrender his wealth, and he was also put in the dungeon. The younger brother, as a young man, he came and he saw what happened to the other man and his own brothers, and he decided, he thought for a while, and he requested politely to the princess that, princess, I would like to have one day to think of how I can hide myself. And also, I need three chances to participate in this contest. The princess, taken aback by surprise, the first person who has talked to her, and also he is the smartest one he could see so far. So she decided, and she granted him his request and asked her to proceed. So the young man, he just waited the whole night. He could not sleep. And the next day morning, he was thinking about how to hide himself, but he did not get any clue. So at the same time, he was feeling hungry. So he thought he will walk up to the forest and find something to grab, eating. So he had his bow and arrows, and he went to the forest. At first, he saw a raven, and he aimed at it, and he was about to release his arrow. But Raven saw him, and he asked him, don't shoot me, don't shoot me. Please, I can help you. By hearing this, the young man thought, okay, I'll leave you. And immediately the raven flew off. And without knowing what to do, then he walked onwards. And then he reached to a lake. He saw a large fish which is on the surface of the water. So he thought it might be he could feast at this fish. So he aimed at it, and the fish saw him, and the fish said, "Don't shoot me! Don't shoot me! I can help you." And the young man, let the fish go. Then he walked onwards, and he was thinking back of the mind that how to hide himself, that he could not get any clue. And immediately he saw a fox which was limping. So the fox saw him and requested this young man, "Please take this thorn from my foot. I can walk comfortably." So the young man was kind enough to remove the thorn from the fox's foot, and the fox said thank you to him, and it walked off freely and comfortably. And the young man thought, and in hunger, he thought he would return to his place in the town. So he came back to the town and was sitting at the home thinking of how to hide himself or how to win this contest. The next day morning, he had to participate in the contest, and he is before going to the palace or before going to the place he could hide, he was walking into the forest again. He did not know whom to ask the help for. So he met the raven again. He asked the raven, "Raven, I helped you yesterday. So you have to give me or advise me to how I could hide myself to win this contest." The raven cried, "I have it! I have it!" So the raven could fetch a nest, fetched an egg out of the nearby nest, and just through with his beak, he broken the egg and asked the young man to uh, climb up the half of the egg and sit inside the egg. The young man was doing the same as instructed by the raven. So the princess saw or tried the first window. She could not locate it. Then the second window, she could not locate him. And the third and the fourth window, and she could locate him. That young man was sitting inside or hiding himself inside the egg. She, she asked the soldiers to bring the egg to the palace, and it got him broken the egg, and he came out of that egg. The first chance is gone. So next day, the second chance was to hide. So today, the next day, the young man went to the forest, and he was sitting nearby the lake, and the fish came, and he asked the fish, "I let you live, I saved your life, and you have to help me. You have to advise me where to hide myself, where I could hide myself." The fish said, "I can help you. You can go inside I can eat you, or you can stay in my stomach." So he did that, and the princess tried to search him through the windows. She tried to look out through the windows, and the first window, the second window, the princess could not find him, and third and fourth and sixth and seventh window, she could locate him. And she asked the fish to be brought into the castle, and she asked to cut the fish. So the young man came out of the fish. The two chances gone. The young man is not knowing. His last chance was. So the next day, his chance came, and he walked into the forest, and he saw the fox where he had met 2 days ago. So he asked the fox, like, "Fox, you are the cleverest. You are one of the cleverest animals in the jungle. So please advise me, like how I can hide myself." So the fox thought for a while and said, "Okay, I found out. The fox had an ability that to jump in the air and do a flip in the mid-air, and when he landed down, it transforms into another being, which the fox had thought for. So the fox did the same. Like he jumped in the air and did a flip, and he landed down as an animal trainer. So he instructed the young man to do the same. The young man did, and he landed down as a flea. So they both, the animal trainer and the flea, they went to the kingdom. And the animal trainer put on a show in the marketplace where people saw this exhibition by uh, the animal trainer and the flea, and everyone was surprised and they were watching. And this news has gone to the princess. The princess, she came down to the marketplace and watched the show by the animal trainer and the flea. So the princess was happy, and she was returning. While she was returning to the palace, the animal trainer said to the flea, "Here is your chance. You go and hide behind her head hair." So the flea did the same as instructed. So the princess went to the palace, and she started looking through all the windows, second window, third window, but she could not locate the young man. And she was a bit nervous that what might have happened to him. But when she reached the 12th window, and through 12th window also, she could not locate him. So she was finally happy that she could find a man can be married to for the rest of his life. So they both ruled the kingdom, and one day the young man, become now the king, thought to free all the men who have been enslaved by this princess for this because of this contest. So he released all the men and he set free. That's all.